Jet Food Stores for fast, friendly service with a smile in a safe environment and competitive pricing. Check out Jet Food Stores at a location near you.
Welcome everybody. I'm glad to have with Shanna. It is time for Santa for a Senior.
It is.
We usually go over to Kroger every year. Shanna and I do this every year. All of you know this, our faithful viewers, but we thought we'd sit here in the office at home instead, and we're right across the street from Kroger. We have our tree set up at Kroger, and you see the tree behind us here. And it's time for Santa for a Senior. And for those that don't know, tell us what Santa for a Senior is.
Santa for a Senior is a program where we take shut-ins and people in the nursing home and put their names on an ornament and hang them on the tree, and everybody can come pick out an ornament and buy a gift, and we take and deliver those gifts as the elves that we are every year.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun, and we're giving back to the community and making sure that everybody has at least one thing to open for Christmas.
It is so much fun though, and you're watching some footage of last year as Shanna's been talking here, and you see the elves unloading all the gifts there and walking in, and the looks on the people's faces. And Shanna, we know we go every year, and it's something I always look forward to. And you and I both have had some health problems the past year, but these are the kind of things that just throws all that to the side, and you forget about the problems of life. And everybody watching us now, we all have problems, don't we? But during this time of the year, when you can come by home instead at the office or at the tree at Kroger and pick up one of these little things off the tree, a little paper ornament, and they're real basic things, cream or blankets, or you mentioned to me somebody wanted a thing, bucket of bubble gum, or just things that we take for granted, don't we?
Well, if you think about it, if you're somewhere you don't have access to every day, you're not running in and out of a gas station or a grocery store, or you can't pick up a little treat for yourself. So a lot of times those things are very important to somebody who doesn't have access to them. We were talking about socks and a warm blanket, because each room is not temperature controlled. So if you get cold and your neighbor's not cold, then a nice warm blanket is
hey, it happens
a
in my own
wonderful
house.
thing.
My wife's hot, I'm freezing. So, and every night of my life, when we watch TV, I'm under a blanket. So, people might say, well, a blanket, but that's all of us love to sit around, especially when it's cold, and get under a blanket and watch television.
If you don't have a blanket, that's a completely different thing.
Is.
That's serious.
And they're so inexpensive. We saw some at some store the other day, just this weekend we were shopping. Blankets are so inexpensive. You could buy 10 blankets for nothing.
Right.
And bring them by home instead. That's just one idea there. And we mentioned the creams and the lotions and things like that, or
clock radios,
hats, or there's so many things. Clock radio, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. But and it's so much fun to be able to go by and to see these people when we give these gifts out. It's just such a joyous, Christmas already a joyous time of the year.
Right.
But to be able to give to somebody, because most of us watching here, we don't really want nothing. We want to give to our kids and grandkids, and we need to remember the people in the nursing homes.
Well, and I think part of it is, how many of us need how many things?
Yeah.
These people truly need these things.
Yes.
So when you have, and it's not expensive. You can spend $10, $15
right.
and make somebody's day or whole Christmas season, and knowing that they have a new robe or a new blanket or any of the things, some perfume that they don't have access to like we do.
This one right here says a hat, scarf, or gloves, or some hand lotion, cookies or candy, coffee. We don't think about that. We get up and make a cup of coffee in the morning. But these people are in rooms with other people. they may want to make their own coffee,
Yep.
you know, because they might not be able to go to, you know, where the coffee is in the nursing home. Some are mobile, some are not.
Well, it also makes it feel more like home.
Yes.
If you have your own things accessible to you, instead of having to go to the dining room or go somewhere else, you can, you know, make your room feel like you have your own little goodies and your own little
Yeah.
things. So, you know, not all the time. Well, you and I go to our kitchen. Well, they don't have a kitchen.
No.
So we take a lot of those things for granted, and I think that the people in the nursing home are, they just get so excited for the things that we take for granted.
Yeah, and you know, until Home Instead started this Santa for a Senior, I was guilty of this too, and you may, when I say this, you may think the same thing, but I always have thought, you know, Christmas was for kids. I didn't want nothing. It was all about helping kids, whether it's my kids or somebody else's kids or some of these organizations that do for kids, but I never thought about people in the nursing homes, you know, because I didn't have anybody in the nursing home. So
Right.
it was just, you know, and I felt terrible once I found out about it. And now every year, I'll be pulling some off in a minute because my wife just loves going shopping for these people in the nursing home. And then again, she knows how excited I get going when we go give the gifts out. But
It's
Christmas
truly-
is not just for kids, though.
Well, I think it's for children and the elderly.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you know, you have Santa Claus, and there's so many, and of course, children. Who, as a child, who doesn't love Christmas? Which
Yeah.
I still love Christmas, and I'm not a child anymore. But just, I think it's more about God's love
Yes.
with the elderly than, you know, these people know that somebody cares about them, that they're not forgotten, that they're, you know, even if they don't see people all year round, they know they can look at that and think somebody thought about me,
Yeah.
the gift that they get. So I think it's more about spreading God's love and
Amen.
what that means to that person. And when you know, we have an option in our list of, if you want a Bible, if you want to add a Bible to your list, you know, request one. So Bibles are something that we ask for too. Of course, large print Bibles, because you know, you don't know.
That's what I have to have, yeah.
But when you do that, you're bringing the love to those people, the love of Christmas, which is not necessarily, you know, we are celebrating the birth of
Yeah.
Jesus. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And you know, that agape love, the way God loves us, you know, and true love, as we know, God's love is when you do for someone that can't do anything for you in return.
correct.
That is that agape love that when you read your Bible and you read about that type of love, that's how God loves us. Because what can we give God? I mean, God has everything,
Right.
you know.
But when you have the ability to provide that for somebody else, or somebody that's in a nursing home or in a shut-in, we do also deliver to some people that are shut into their homes. It's very fulfilling, and it's just the joy and the blessing that you get
Yeah.
from being able to provide that gift to somebody. And you can send a card.
Yeah.
We encourage people to, you know, write a card
Yeah.
and say, you know, this is from me and my family, and this
Yeah.
is who we are. You know, put a picture in it where they can have a connection with another family or
That's a
another
great
person.
idea. That's a wonderful idea. We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back. You did something special last year I want to talk about in just a moment, and we're going to talk more about Home Instead, but stay with us. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Oconee Fall Line Technical College. Think differently about college and apply today.
Welcome back, everybody. Shanna, last year, what stuck out to me, one of the gifts, there were so many good gifts, but there was one individual, I want to say it was a lady, that wanted a steak and baked potato.
Yeah.
Well, you went to
I did that.
Longhorns, I believe, if I remember
did.
right, and got her. I'm telling you, that is just, to me, and I'm not making a lot of any of the gifts, they were all great, but to go, what you did, you went out of your way and went. because that was so important to her.
It was. And if you think about it, if we didn't get to go out to eat or,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes you just want what you want.
Yeah.
And so she thought of all the things that I want this year. I want a steak and a baked potato. And I thought, oh, bless her heart.
I know.
Like, we got to make this happen.
Yeah.
But I had completely forgot about doing that. But she was elated.
Yeah.
She was elated that we would do that. She was elated that, but she was bedbound. She couldn't get out of the bed.
I think it's wonderful.
So-
Yeah, that's that love, though. I mean, because you could easily just, well, you know, we ain't able to do that. But I mean, really, is it that hard to ride out here to the interstate and pick up a steak for somebody that you know, going back to what we said a while ago, if we want a steak, you know, we go get a steak or whatever. We're mobile.
Right.
But when you got somebody that's bed bound or home bound or whatever it might be, that y'all deal with a lot of people like this.
Yes.
With Home Instead Senior Care. You know, but those are the kind of things that Home Instead, y'all really do this year round. I mean, I know this Santa for Seniors for Christmas, but y'all do these kind of things year round. And if you're watching us and you're my age person, middle-aged person that has elderly parents that may need help, a couple hours a week, couple hours a day, whatever it might be, that's the kind of service that you provide.
We do. We provide caregivers in the homes to do, you know, regular everyday things. So if you just need a little extra assistance, or you know, as you get older, you're not as ambulatory or as jovial about doing regular household chores every day, and you just need a little bit of help, and that's what we do. We kind of kick in where the needs are, and we do we'll take you to the grocery store, we'll take you to pick up your medicine, take you to the doctor, those types of things, and we'll go all the way to total care. So, you know, we take care of a lot of people that can't get out of the bed. So it's quite the scope of things that we do, but we try to make sure that we do it all well.
Yeah.
So, and that we try to go out of our way for our clients to make sure they're happy and well taken care of.
Okay, and how wide of area, because we got people watching us right now in Dodge County and Johnson and Treatland and all around Twiggs. Do you cover this whole area?
We cover this whole area. We do not go to Twiggs.
Okay.
They're actually in our Macon office, but we go all the way to Statesboro, which is Bullitt County, all the way over to Eastman,
Okay.
and I have Wrightsville, Tennille, Sandersville, Worthen, long way,
Yeah.
Alamo, McRae.
Norristown Junction?
Yes,
Don't-
I have clients all over all of those counties, and Cochrane. I have clients in Cochrane. So a little bit of everything. We have caregivers, different groups of caregivers in each area. So we kind of work we call them zones. We work our zones and make sure that we have, you know, if you have 4 hours of service and then you can have one caregiver do 4 hours of service in one place and then go help somebody else in the afternoon. We kind of work around your schedule, whatever works best for you.
Yeah, and if you need someone to stay with your mom at night, you know, you have caregivers that will spend the night, and, you know, if something happens during the night, that whatever their needs are, or if you need someone to stay with your dad in the morning or the afternoon or whatever,
Right.
you know, is custom built. You know, there's no set way at Home Instead Senior Care. We'll work around your schedule.
Just call me and I'll come see you and do a consultation, and I work up a care plan, and, you know, kind of work with you on what the best time of the day is for you and what you need the most. And, you know, a lot of elderly people struggle in the morning times because
Yeah.
it's cold and you don't want to get up and get out of your pajamas and get a shower. But if every day that you get up and take a shower, it's kind of a hazard.
Yeah.
To not have or to be alone and not have somebody with you, or those types of things. You know, just having somebody, you know, between 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock, you can cover a lot of bases. You know, you're going to get breakfast and medicine and a bath and
Yeah.
lunch, and there's a lot of things that can be done in that 4-hour window that are really aesthetic. So once you get up and get your day started and do those things or have assistants doing those things, then you can kind of finish out the day pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just getting that going.
Yeah, getting started. Yeah, and y'all do first of all, you're perfect at this job. You was made for this job. So
I've been told that.
yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I've watched you in action, and that's a good thing. Shanna come out, like she said, do a consultation. Don't cost anything at all for her to come out and just go through everything and find out your needs. That's really the reason for the consultation, I believe, is to find out the needs of the patient, your loved one. It may be you. You may be watching us now, and the number's right there on the screen. Just pick up the phone right now and call, and we'll set everything up. But as I watch y'all's caregivers come in and out, and I'm in here quite often talking and visiting, and it's hard for y'all to believe I'm in here talking, but to see the caregivers come in and out, you have wonderful people. That whoever does the hiring here, the HR
Miss
part,
Laurie.
does a wonderful job, because these people are loving, caring people, and it is something I believe that you're born that way, that you truly love people, that we're the kind of love we were talking about earlier. But you have a wonderful staff, don't you?
Right, we do. Our staff is phenomenal, but we have our caregivers, as far as being compassionate and caring and caring about their job, because a lot of times, you see people when they go to work and they do their jobs. Everybody here knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's why it makes it so easy to do your job, because you know what you're contributing to. You know you're making a difference in somebody's life. So if you I always say, try to find caregivers. If you know somebody, or you are somebody that feels like that you want to make a difference and make money, this is a perfect job for you. Because there are so many elderly people, and sometimes they just need a friend. Sometimes you may be the child and coming in and saying this needs to be done and this needs to be done. Well, you don't want to. Elderly people don't want to lose their dignity. They don't want you to come in and notice that something's not quite up to par. And we try to train our caregivers to kind of pay attention to those things, pay attention to what's not quite up to par, and do those things. And that builds a friendship, that builds a bond with your client. And I think that's where we differentiate from everybody else, is we make sure that it says to us it's personal.
Yeah.
So
It is personal.
yeah, and so it has to be personal to make it work.
Yeah, and you really hit on something good there. That's where Home Instead Senior Care is different than any other agency you might call, because you mentioned training. We don't just send anybody to your home. These people go through background checks. They're drug tested. They're trained the way Home Instead, which has a corporate policy, the way people have to be trained to handle people. And then there's a point where the training kicks in, and how that person really feels about people. And that's where hiring comes in.
Right.
You can pretty well tell when somebody comes in for an interview, just the way they carry themselves, the smile on their face, the love that they show.
Personality.
Yeah.
Right.
It is their personality. But with all those things, the background checks, the drug tests and all, that's why people can feel comfortable that who you're sending in their home.
Correct. And we never send anybody into your home without one of us here from the office introducing you. So if you were to have a caregiver come to your house, somebody from this office is going to come with them for the first time. You're going to meet them. It's going to be a familiar face. The first time they show up for a shift, that's going to be somebody you've seen before. So we take a lot of pride in doing those things, kind of taking the extra step to make it personal. And it really does make a difference. It makes a difference for the clients. It makes a difference for us, because that way we have more interaction with our clients. We get to see them, see how their day's going, see, instead of me just seeing them one time for a consultation, I stay with that person the entire time they're here. So, they're going to get used to seeing me or Billy or Pam or Laurie, somebody from this office. So it's not just the caregiver they're going to see.
So you're seeing multiple people, because you want to make sure everything's going like it should go.
Oh yeah, you got to make sure that everything's smooth and everybody's
running
well taken care of.
Yeah, and the way you want things to go. Going back to that Home Instead way of doing business. But so when you talk about care, we're talking about 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
24 hours a day, whatever it might be. So it's not just your schedule 5 days a week.
Right. We do as little as 4 hours a day, and we will do all the way up to 24 hours a day. So,
And I'm telling you, and you need to call Shannon and talk with her. The number's on the screen, but it's so inexpensive to get home instead. It's not some crazy amount of money that you couldn't afford. Anybody could afford to get these caregivers to come in there. 4 hours a day is very inexpensive. Especially, you mentioned a while ago, what can happen in 4 hours.
right.
So much could happen in 4 hours.
Well, and sometimes, you have different levels of care, but sometimes somebody just needs that little extra something 2 or 3 days a week. Some people need it 5 days a week, recovering from, a knee replacement or a hip replacement or something like that. But it takes the burden off of the family members. So, and just the relief that you have that somebody else is responsible for that amount of time is worth it.
And see, I've never thought about that. Just coming out of the hospital, you may not need a long-term care.
Right. We do rehabilitative
Well, good.
also.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's great. See, I didn't know that. Well, thank you for teaching me something
You're
here today.
welcome.
Isn't she great? See, we all learned something new there. Yeah, I've been doing this
Yeah,
for
we'll
many
get you
years.
better.
Boy, I tell you, I've needed you lately. Where were you?
No. Most people
I have to call.
I know you have to call. No, but we have clients come out from bypass surgery, open heart surgery, knee replacements, hip replacements, shoulder replacements, and they call us and they say, we need somebody to help us get better. And we work with home
Wow.
health, and we work with hospice, and we work with home health, and whatever the situation, your care plan is individually built to get you. We set goals to where you need to be, and if that's recovered and back up and walking, and there's a limited amount of time that you can do things for yourself, we'll do that also.
Yeah. Well, how about that? Yeah. You set that goal and you help us reach that goal. So, and that's so important especially when you're recuperating
Right.
from
Well,
what.
and I think it wires the communication between your physical therapist, your nurses, your caregivers. If there's somebody that's able to communicate, if your mother's at home and she's recovering, and she's getting medicine and a bath, and then her physical therapy, a continuation of her physical therapy when
That's right.
when you aren't there, or somebody to communicate with a therapist to say, no, she needs to do this a little better, or she needs to do this a little more. So it's just a little extra help is what it
And
is.
to communicate with the siblings or the children or whatever. You mentioned if it was my mom, to be able to communicate with me, and
Right.
and you got
Communication
somebody,
is a lot of what we do.
because as your parents get older, as I get older, I'll put that in there, but we forget things, and and fortunately my wife, my medicine I have to take every day, I hear it every day, and I get ill sometime, I'll tell you, but did you take your medicine? Did you take your medicine? And as we get older, then the older and older we get, we may forget that. And that taking that medicine at the right times of the day is so important. And that way you can communicate that with the children and say, she took her medicine at 8, she took it at 12, now she's good till 4 or
Right.
6 or whatever it might be. But well, good. We've learned all kind of new things here today. We're going to take another commercial break, and we're going to come back and wrap things up.
Fairview Fitness Center, open 24/7 with staffed hours available every day. Fairview Fitness Center, serving our community for over 30 years. Push your fitness further with our gym facilities, fitness classes, freestyle areas, and more. Join today and see the benefits of a healthy life. All new members are provided with a complete health assessment upon request, and new members are provided with a fitness orientation to familiarize themselves with exercise equipment, all by one of our staff exercise physiologists. For more information, call 353-1900. Visit us at 200 Industrial Boulevard behind Fairview Hospital, or log on to fairviewfitness.com.
And welcome back, everybody. Shanna, we've talked about an array of things, but our Santa First Senior program, we want to make sure we understand that. We've got the tree at Kroger. We've got the tree here at the office. We're in the Oak Ridge Shopping Center right across from Kroger. And all you got to do is come by and pull one of the little paper ornaments off, get the gift, bring it by, and we need the gifts by when?
December 14th.
That's right.
So every gift is wrapped. So you may either wrap your gift or not wrap your gift. We will wrap it for you if need be, but we need them by December 14th because we will deliver on the 18th this year.
And they will wrap them for you, but if you can, just go ahead and wrap the gift because there's literally hundreds and hundreds of gifts.
Yes,
Because we
there
deliver
are.
to a couple different places. You know, we don't go where people don't want you to come in, but you know, we talk to these nursing homes. We've got names on the little cards here. It says Mary wants whatever. So you come by and pick it up. Go ahead and buy the gift. Get them on in early so we know where we are, because there's a lot of work goes into this.
Yes.
I'm amazed, and the closer you get, you're trying to fill in the blanks. You know, because if nobody pulled Mary's name, you know, you're trying to get the lotion or the candy or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's like a 4-day marathon. Once we have everything in on the 14th, those 4 days, you shop and you wrap as fast as you can. But that's part of being an elf.
Yeah, and I always see the little elves in there in the floor with wrapping paper
Yes.
everywhere, wrapping
Yes.
gifts, and it is an exciting time of the year because you know you're about to deliver those gifts. But
And you know what? If you don't want to wrap it, go to the Dollar Tree, buy a bag, and put it in there.
that's right.
It's, you know, I always, if you do, we put the names on the ornaments this year, the last names on the ornaments, so that you could write a card, a Christmas card.
That's a good touch.
So, you know, everybody likes a Christmas card. Even if they have a gift, everybody likes a card to say, you know, somebody thought about me. So that's why we use the names this year. So I encourage you also, we're going to try to make sure everybody has a card this year.
And that is a good touch, and that's something I've never thought of, but that's something we'll do this year because I know during the holiday seasons, every day in the mail, we're getting Christmas cards in the mail, and I know me and my wife always enjoy opening them because somebody thought enough of you
Right,
to
to
sit
send you a
down
card.
and mail you a card, and it's always, you know, really fun to see all the cards and put them around the fireplace and that kind of thing, but and we're talking about people in the nursing home. Some of them, nobody ever comes to see them. You know, I hate to
Right.
say that, but some of these people very seldom get a visitor. You know, whether they don't have family or family don't come, whatever the reason. But this is an important time of the year, and we need to make their Christmas really special.
I think so.
Yep.
We will.
We will. Home Instead will, I can tell you that. So get the first thing you got to do, go by Kroger or come by the office here, pull one of the little name tags off, get the gift, and get it here by the 14th, December the 14th, because on the 18th and probably the 19th, those couple days, usually we get them delivered.
Yes, sir. We're
Okay.
ready to go.
Sounds like fun. Home Instead, Santa for a Senior. We've been doing this for several years. I know I've been a part of it for several years, and this is a corporate Home Instead program.
It is. It's a
And,
corporate-wide program. We do it all over. Actually, it's not just in the United States. We're
Yeah,
a worldwide
it
company.
is.
So it's not necessarily the same every place. It's kind of interesting how they do vary it, but it's always a lot of fun.
And I was looking on the website, the corporate website, at the millions and millions of gifts that's given out in this Santa for a Senior program. So, and it's great right here in Dublin. Billy Frost, the owner of Home Instead here in Dublin and Statesboro, wanted to start this program. And I know it's during that December 14th, 18th, I know, well, I was going to say he's pulling the hair out of his head. Me and him can't pull much more hair out, can we? But I know it's a hectic time of the year, and every year it's like that. But to give back this time of the year, because that's basically what kind of corporation, and when you get Home Instead into your home, that's the kind of company that you're doing business with. One that don't just go out and serve you, but it serves the community as a whole. And I can tell you, I never call on Home Instead and talk to Billy about things that are important to this community, whether it's St. Patrick's or Christmas or whatever it might be. But Home Instead always is a part of these things that go on in our community. So, and you know that, you've seen it yourself. But, well, Shannon, I appreciate you sitting down with me today.
Thank
I
you.
know you're busy.
Always.
But I wanted to sit down and talk with you because we really want you to be a part of this. Let's make this extra special this year. Don't forget the tree at Kroger and the tree right here at our office at the Oak Ridge Shopping Center here across the street from Kroger. Thank you, Shanna. Thank you, Home Instead, and thank you for joining us today.